It's showtime.
What's going on, guys? Django Fett here, and today we're going to be talking about E3. I'm going to be talking about each of the conferences in order and tell you guys the games that grabbed me and what I didn't like about each of the conferences, and give my overall thoughts of each conference, then move on with each conference, and then give it like a ranking or something at the end. I'm not going to say this person won and is the number one, because honestly I felt like E3 was nothing special. Honestly, there were some good games, but there was not one conference that were like, oh my god, I need all of these games. It just grabbed me. None of these conferences are like that. I feel like E3 now is just like, for me, I'm more cynical nowadays, and it just doesn't capture me with video games and movies like they used to. Maybe I'm just an old bastard, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the first conference, EA. Oh boy. Can I just get this out of the way? This is the worst conference I've seen this year. It's god awful. Let's just talk about it. God damn it. Unravel 2. This is probably the only game that captured me in any sense. I also liked Sea of Solitude. Those are two indie games from EA Originals. I like the fact that some indie games, some bright spots, are actually coming out and doing well. So Unravel was a good success. A Way Out. Unravel 2, I mean, I saw the gameplay, and it actually looks really good. I'm really impressed with that game. I've actually never played Unravel 1. I would like to get a chance to play Unravel 1 and then play Unravel 2 for sure. And here's a big one. They unveiled a new Star Wars game, going to be created by Respawn, but they unveiled it in one of the most cringiest ways I've ever seen possible. So they were basically talking to the Respawn director, or whoever, in the audience. And then one of the person's correspondents talked to that person like, hey, what do you have in works? And like, hey, I guess we have a Star Wars game. And that's like, that's not how you unveil a new game. That was bad, man. And you could tell he was like not happy with that whole situation. And he's like, get me out of here, man. This is so bad. And they called it Jedi Fallen Empire or Fallen Order. I don't know. It's kind of a dumb name at the same time. I will be playing that game for sure. It's coming out next year. If nothing happens, I'll probably play it. It'll probably be my last new Star Wars game I will play, for sure. Maybe even Battlefront 3, who knows. But yeah, that was not a good way to unveil a game. They didn't show anything. They just said, oh, we're doing a new game. Like, no, that was just dumb. Next is Command and Conquer, but in the form of a mobile game. Way to go, EA. Way to piss off the Command & Conquer fan base and just, fans in general. And if you have noticed, I'm going to go by these pretty quickly as much as I can because I got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to do the best I can. Next, we have Anthem, which looks dull. It's a third-person shooter that looks like Destiny. I don't see anything story-wise that comes out from this. It looks pretty dull to me. I think it's just going to be a shoot game like Destiny, but it's in third person. It doesn't look good to me. I'm not impressed one bit, and I think this is going to be the downfall and extinction of BioWare. This is going to be the end of BioWare. But I hope to God those guys find jobs elsewhere away from EA and create their own studio. That would be awesome. That would be a great story, honestly. But with Anthem, I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for BioWare. To be honest, I foresee it. Okay, so that was pretty much EA. That was fucking dog shit. We can next talk about the next conference, Microsoft. Okay, so we have a new Halo game, but honestly, I don't care. I haven't cared for a Halo game since Halo 3. It could be good, who knows? But I played the Halo Master Chief Collection for the single player, really enjoyed it, had a lot of fun. But I don't care for the Halo single-player games because, I heard Halo 5 was bad. I played Halo 4. Wasn't really impressed with that game. So, yeah, I really don't care. I mean, it's kind of like the same old with Microsoft when it comes to the first-party exclusives, like the same old Halos, Gears of War, and so. It's just like, can we get something new like how, Sony's doing with PlayStation? I mean, like, come on. Enough of that rant. You'll see when I get to the other games too. We have Fallout 76. I'm not going to be talking about this one. I'm going to be saving that for the Bethesda conference, but they actually unveiled Fallout 76 without gameplay, but they showed like a little trailer, just I think it was kind of gameplay. Yeah, I'll get to that one later. And a game that captured me was Forza Horizon 4. I love the Forza Horizon games. I've played all of them. I love 3, that's my favorite. I'm still playing it now. I just love these open world racing games, especially with Forza. I can't see myself playing any other open world racing game that captures me like Forza. So Forza Horizon 4 looks awesome. It's actually set in England using, I think it looks like it's using other vehicles instead of just cars and vans and stuff like that. So it looks interesting, and plus you can have seasons changing in the game. Plus it's coming out October 2nd, which is just awesome to hear. And then we had news that Microsoft was acquiring 5 new development studios, or actually acquired them. 2 notably includes Ninja Theory, who did Hellblade, which is interesting to say the least, and Compulsion Games, who did V Happy View. So that was really interesting news to hear that Microsoft announced that. And then we have a game that's coming out that was delayed for next year, is Metro Exodus. I fucking love the Metro games. Great immersive apocalyptic first-person shooter games. And this third one looks phenomenal. I mean, they always look just beautiful ass games. So I'm hoping the story is awesome and they, explore this wasteland of Russia a lot more. Then we have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, but I'm sure it's going to come out on all consoles. I don't see it just solely on Xbox unless they say it. And every time they put up a game, they said exclusive, world exclusive. But the thing is, it's not fucking exclusive if it's coming out on PlayStation and on the PC. Well, I understand the PC, but everything else, it's not a fucking exclusive, okay? Halo, Gears of War, those are exclusives, okay? Say that's exclusive, but don't say every fucking game is exclusive. It's fucking bullshit. They showed off some new Tomb Raider. I'll discuss that in the Square Enix conference. Yes, they had a conference. And then they showed Devil May Cry, which looks interesting to say the least. I am kind of excited at the same time. I'm not. It looks like they're repeating the same mistake with kind of like the emo look. I feel like it's not going to be received well when it comes out. And they say it's like a sequel to, I guess, Devil May Cry 4, and they don't even mention the reboot game at all because that game looks fine, but it was just not received well at all. We have Tunic, which is an indie game that looks really interesting. It's very reminiscent to Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past with the fox. I honestly think it's a pretty interesting game. I would definitely look forward to it when it comes out. And then they showed something interesting, Jump Force, which is a combination of animes. I honestly think it's the dumbest name ever, but it's a combination of animes, like a fighting game of sorts. There's that. Dying Light 2. I mean, I love Dying Light 1. Really looking forward to this one. When they revealed this, I was like, is this a third-person game? Because the way they shot it, it like seemed like third person, like a runaway zombie game. But it's actually first-person parkour, and it was Dying Light sequel. And I just love the first game, so I'm looking forward to this one too. Don't know the release date exactly. I'm sure they'll post it pretty soon. Then we have Battletoads, which is, yeah, that's a true exclusive. I could see that. Then we have Gears of War. There's like 3 Gears of War games that are coming out. Don't really care. Never liked the Gears of War games, to be honest. Those are exclusives for Xbox, but it's just, I don't care for Gears of War. I never cared for Gears of War in the beginning. It's just, whatever. And then the big one, they were about to end the conference until this trailer was revealed, Cyberpunk 2077. And it was just a really cool cinematic trailer of what this world could be. I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked for it. They didn't show any gameplay. Guessing they'll probably show gameplay next year, and then they probably will release the game in 2 years or 3 years or however long it takes. Just make the game great. That's all that matters. If they have to delay it as much as possible, then so be it. But I'm definitely looking forward to this because I love CD Projekt Red, Witcher 2 and 3. I love those freaking games. So I'm really looking forward to Cyberpunk. Then we can move on to the next conference, Bethesda. And they opened up with one of the cringiest music things ever. It was really, really awful with a metal band that was playing. Everybody was like, what the fuck? I just want to see some goddamn games. And I'm just like left like, what the fuck is this? My jaw was dropping. Like, it was that bad. I don't like musical performances in the start of conferences, to be honest. I think Sony did it a couple of years ago. That they actually did it very well. Only some conferences do it very well. Bethesda, yeah, you didn't do it well at all. It was just Everyone was silent and quiet, and it was awful. Really, really bad stuff, man. Just nobody reacted at all. The reason they played that was because of Rage 2. I honestly don't care for the game. I never liked the first game. It looks interesting to say the least, but I don't like the pink and the happy apocalyptic look to it. Honestly, I like the sad, depressing stuff like Metro, Fallout 3. That's why I really love those games with a passion, because they portray a realistic setting. I just don't like the funny, happy, we're in the apocalypse look. It's just, I'm not a big fan of it. But the gameplay actually looks fine. It looks fine. So I guess there's something to look forward to that. And it's plus, Avalanche Games, Avalanche Studio, as well as, id Software, who did the Doom game. And speaking of Doom, we have a Doom sequel. They revealed a cinematic trailer, but they didn't really reveal too much, but we're getting a Doom sequel. That's awesome. And then the big one, Fallout 76. Okay, there's a lot to talk about this one. I'm actually mixed with this game. I'm really, really mixed with it. There's some things I like, some things I don't like. But first off, they said it's 4 times the size of Fallout 4, set in West Virginia, and showed the same trailer from the Xbox conference, then show some gameplay, and it's entirely online, but I'm guessing it's not an MMO. This is just, what am I afraid of? I hope it's not MMO. I know it's survival mixed into it. My question is, will you have to pay online like you did with Elder Scrolls Online? Because they did that shit and it didn't receive well at all. Nobody wanted to do that shit. A negative I want to mention is the ugly Fallout 4 game engine that they're using. I think it's a really, really dated system at this point. It was fine, I guess, at that time, but still, it was, it didn't look that great. But it's years now. They're using the same engine, and it looks even worse than before. Like, it looks really, really bad. I'm not a fan of this engine at all. They should have just scrapped it from the beginning. It looks really, really ugly. The concept is interesting. An online multiplayer Fallout game. It seems interesting. I just don't know how it's gonna be, man. I don't want it to be like an everyday MMO or something of that sort, and just solely rely on online, because I'm a single player guy. I like the single player story experience, and I don't want other people ruining it for me, like coming in and nuking my place and stuff like that. You can nuke other people's cities and towns and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Now, what's interesting is the collector's edition. I didn't get the collector's edition from Fallout 4, kind of regretting it, but it is on Amazon for, from what I saw, it was like $100. Now it's, up this game. But it comes with the Pip-Boy, which is awesome. But the collector's edition for this one comes with a glow-in-the-dark map, which is fucking cool as shit. But cooler than that is a classic power armor helmet that is wearable and has a voice modulator. How cool is that shit? I need that shit. Even though I'm not really looking forward to the game, I want to get the collector's edition for that fucking shit alone. I want that helmet. I need that helmet, man. That's some really cool, innovative shit right there. And then they announced 2 big games. 2 big ones. Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. We kind of all saw this coming with Starfield especially. We weren't sure about Elder Scrolls 6, but Starfield is a big one. Set in space, like a big Elder Scrolls Skyrim type of game in space, or Fallout type of game in space. That's awesome. That's an awesome proposition right there. And then on top of that, Elder Scrolls 6, based on the trailer alone, I think this game is going to be set in High Rock, which is next to Hammerfell and Skyrim. It's the home of the Bretons, that special race with magic. Just based on the trailer and what I've read, it only makes sense if it's set in High Rock. That would be awesome. That's actually an unexplored zone when it comes to, non-Elder Scrolls Online. So it would be really, really interesting. I just love Skyrim. I've wanted a sequel for quite some time. So I'm glad they announced it. It's probably going to be some time before they release it, but I'm excited either way. Okay, then we can move on to Square Enix. This one was straight gameplay for like 30 minutes, so there wasn't really too much to talk about. But first off, we have Rise of the Tomb Raider. Awesome gameplay. Pretty much Rise of the Tomb Raider, but with enhanced, stealth and weapon mechanics. It looks fantastic, and it's coming out September 14th. We're really looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of the Tomb Raider series since, the original Tomb Raider reboot. So I'm just, oh man, the third one in the series, it looks so awesome. I can't wait for that. And then they showed something interesting. I'm probably not going to be getting this anytime soon, but they combined Final Fantasy Online with Monster Hunter. When they showed the Palico and they showed the Rathalos and them drinking the potion, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool for Final Fantasy to incorporate that. Unfortunately, we wouldn't have any Monster Hunter World news at all. Maybe by the time after this video, but from what I heard, there's no Monster Hunter World stuff, so I was a little unhappy about that. And then we have Just Cause 4, big fan of the Just Cause series. 3 was freaking awesome. What they incorporated, they showed some gameplay, they showed off these weather effects that are part of the destruction, and they're using a new engine, the Apex engine, but it's coming out in December 4th. At the end of this year, which is awesome. I love Just Cause 3. I think that was the best in the series. Really looking forward to it. And yeah, that was just the shortest press conference. It was only 30 minutes, straight gameplay. You know, at least they were straight to the point, didn't bullshit around like the other conferences. They just showed everything, so I'll give them credit for that. Then we have Ubisoft, and they started off with a big one, Beyond Good and Evil 2. And they showed a really cool cinematic trailer with gameplay, and it just looks awesome. They showed off like this alpha gameplay. It's not, you know, the final gameplay by any means, but it looks just freaking amazing. I don't know anything about Beyond Good and Evil, but the more I listen to it, the more I want to play the first game and really get into that. But it just looks like you can explore universes and planets and stuff like that and create your own journey. And they even had Joseph Gordon-Levitt come up on stage and incorporate some art and music into Beyond Good and Evil, so I thought that was pretty cool. We have Skull and Bones, which is probably a better version of Sea and Thieves. Actually looks a lot better and not the simplistic, ugly style, and it just looks like a copy of Black Flag's Naval Mode, but it looks like a lot more enhanced. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. We have Starlink. The only interesting thing about that game was that they revealed Star Fox for the Switch version, and that was the only thing that grabbed my attention. Everything else was crap. But that was pretty cool, revealing Star Fox. That's awesome. And then they brought Miyamoto from Nintendo and gave him a cool statue. It was a really brief moment, but seeing Miyamoto, like, you know, it was like last year, it was pretty cool, man. Just seeing Nintendo and Ubisoft incorporate themselves and help each other out and maintain a really awesome relationship instead of just like fighting it out and duking it out. It's awesome to see, man. I love that. Then they revealed For Honor, revealing Chinese warriors, but the game is dead, so what's the point? And then the big one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I have to admit though, I'm 50-50 on this game. Honestly, I'm not really interested in the Greek setting, to be honest. I love the Egyptian setting. I thought that was really great because I love Egyptian stuff, but seeing a Greek setting, I was not really buying into it. I don't see anything when it came to the gameplay or the cinematics, seeing anything indicating you are an assassin. I don't know how that's incorporated. It just feels like Spartan Creed, you know? It doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed. I don't see anything assassin about this. This is more of a role-playing Greek type of game. You know, Origins brought me into the series once again. And what's interesting is you can choose between male or female, which is actually pretty neat. I wonder how radical the storylines would be or not be at all. I mean, that would be pretty cool to see. It does use the same Assassin's Creed Origins engine. It's not a bad thing. It looks great, but hopefully it's not as buggy and really bad state like it was on the PC, like Origins was. It just almost plays the same as Origins, so wasn't really super impressed. And then this is the biggest thing I'm afraid of, is that it's coming out on October 5th of this year, which I was really surprised about. I thought it was going to come out next year, but it's coming out this year, and I'm afraid that Ubisoft is going down the route of releasing a game every single year for Assassin's Creed, and that's not what I want. I mean, you're going to see a lack of quality pretty soon. I think Odyssey is going to be the next one that's probably going to be lacking in quality. I will play it for sure, but I am still very hesitant at the same time. I'm not expecting anything better than Origins, to be honest. But I am interested in what the next setting for the next game will be. I probably will buy into that. I mean, what we've always wanted for years now is Japan playing as a fucking ninja, as a ninja assassin. I mean, come on. Ubisoft is screwing themselves by not doing that. But if they take 2 years to develop that, then so be it. Let's do it. But don't just release a game every single year and have the quality just drop dramatically. It's not a good thing to see. Alright, so we can now move on to a shitty show, and that is the PC Gaming Show. I hoped it was better this year, unlike last year, which was a shit show. The only thing I would say was improved was the presentation. Was a huge improvement when it comes to the actual look of it. It was good. It was a lot better than before, but it was still a bad presentation. It was really, really bad. They showed off some Battle Royale garbage, Hunt Showdown, which actually looked interesting. They revealed that Shenmue 1 and 2 were coming on PC, but I think that was old news. I think I heard about that before that time. They showed off Star Citizen, which always looks awesome, but ridiculous ship prices and no idea when that's coming out. Who knows when that's, I have no idea. I mean, that's probably going to be like 10 years later or something like that. And then they have 2 Point Hospital. I thought that reveal was pretty damn cool. It was really hilarious, those two guys that were on stage. It was freaking hilarious. I was laughing my ass off when that game was released and stuff. But other than that, there's nothing really to talk about. Once again, PC Gaming Show, another shit show. Then we have Sony. They were first revealed it was a tent. I was a little hesitant. I was like, what the fuck is Sony doing? Are they like cheap or something like that? What are they doing? They had a Banjo opening for Last of Us 2. It was better than the fucking Rage 2 opening, I'll say that. But the tent actually had a point because it was actually featured in the Last of Us 2 trailer, and they showed the gameplay, and it was just, oh boy, it was absolutely incredible. I was just left breathless of the amount of visceral violence and brutality of it all, and the gameplay was just phenomenal. Yes, it was scripted, but god damn, it was beautiful. And that's how you open your fucking conference. But the setup, however, that's not how you fucking do, because what they did after that is they moved everyone from there to the proper conference, which it actually looks small too, but they took like a 15-30 minute break, and we're left like, what the fuck is going on? I'm sleeping my ass off. I want to see some fucking other shit. And they showed fucking nothing. I was really livid when that happened. They had to do like a big giant intermission, and I was just like, what, fucking hurry up, Sony. Then they had somebody playing the flute for 5 to 10 minutes to reveal gameplay for Ghost of Tsushima. Don't know why the flute thing, because they actually played it during the trailer too, so it was kind of pointless. Like, stop playing it again, like, whatever. This looks great. It looks awesome. It sucks that it's an exclusive game, but god damn does it look beautiful. They showed off awesome gameplay. It's just this really cool samurai just battling out against the Mongols. It's just... Then Sony showed off their version of Quantum Break called Control, or whatever it's called. I think that's gonna be a fucking failure too. Remedy just keeps on fucking up. And then they revealed Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is coming out January 25th of next year. I will say it doesn't look impressive from what I saw, but it's awesome to see that they're making a remake. That's awesome. But I wasn't really impressed with like the cutscenes, and they didn't show the gameplay, but it didn't look that good, to be honest. Unlike the quality of Resident Evil 1. They showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 and its cheesy fucking music with no in-game music, and them talking in the anime Japanese manner. It was just like, oh my god. But they did show it off with like some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, so they revealed a lot more stuff than the Microsoft one did, and the fact that it's coming out on Microsoft is cool, but we don't have Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, so we need those games to understand what the hell is Kingdom Hearts 3. So but Kingdom Hearts always shows off this cheesy music with like these emotional moments. Ooh. It's just like, it's whatever. And then we have, oh my god, Death Stranding, which looks like a fucking walking simulator. I have no idea what this game is. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I'm not remotely interested. Kojima is just one weird motherfucker. I played like a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5. I can't really get into it. I played the beginning, and it was just like this kid on a horse, and the horse on fire getting you. It was... Kojima is one weird motherfucker. I'm just gonna say that. I don't understand the Kojima thing. I really don't get it. I can respect him for what he's done in the past, but it doesn't mean I have to understand his games and really like love him. And then we have Spider-Man. This is actually a pretty cool exclusive for PlayStation 4. And Spider-Man is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, which is awesome. It looks great, and they actually showed gameplay, a lot more gameplay towards, after the conference itself. It looks great. Haven't played Spider-Man since Ultimate Spider-Man, but the combat looks fun, and it's now open world too. So that's awesome. There hasn't been an open world Spider-Man game since, I think, Ultimate Spider-Man, I'm going to say. I haven't played the ones in between because like they all look like garbage. But this Spider-Man game looks pretty unique and special to me because it's like, open world, and it's back to its roots with the Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 roots. I think it's going to be a really good game, so we'll see. And then we have the final conference, Nintendo. Honestly, I think there's nothing really too much to talk about because I honestly don't think there's too many games that grabbed me. First one being Metroid Prime 4, which they didn't reveal anything. This was already news before the E3 that it was coming out, which is cool. Metroid Prime 4, that's awesome. And then they revealed something pretty interesting that nobody's really talking about is Fire Emblem Three Houses. If you're familiar with the Fire Emblem game, it's like a turn-based game where you control a set of heroes and combat your enemy. This one looks really unique because you can actually lead your character that when they fight, it splits into armies, and then they fight with the armies of the other character. It's just a really cool take on Fire Emblem and something unique I haven't seen before. So it's a new Fire Emblem game for the Switch. It's really impressive. I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I'm thinking of the longest time for getting a Switch, but I think I'll do it at the end of this year or next year, I think, because I just don't see too many games that grab my attention, to be honest. Definitely Legend of Zelda, and I would say Fire Emblem Three Houses. Those are the two big games. I'm sure there's others, Super Mario Odyssey, but I've already seen a walkthrough, so probably won't get that. But there are a bunch of games that I would be interested in getting a Switch for. And this is a big one. This one I definitely want to get a Switch for. And that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch. So this game was actually revealed after the conference. Most of the interesting stuff was revealed after the conference. They revealed that all returning characters from all of the previous games, which is a massive roster, are coming to this game, which is amazing. That's a lot of characters. So characters I haven't played, such as Cloud and Ryu, I definitely want to play as them. But Marth and Link are my boys, though. And then they showed every single fighter, which was a little too much for me. But they showed off, like little hints, mechanics here and there that they changed for like one or two things for each character, which was really interesting. At least it's not the same thing over and over again, and they don't have the same broken mechanics, whatever it may be. And they said that they will update it as it sees fit. But they did reveal that they added Daisy, which is an Echo Fighter, and they add Inkling, and a big one being Ridley. So Ridley was, I think, a assist trophy for the longest time, or he was part of the stage for the Metroid stage. But now Ridley, who is from the Metroid series, is now a playable character, which is actually pretty cool. I saw some gameplay of him. Really interesting character, though there is one thing that I think is broken with him that needs to be fixed, because he has one just down B attack that just like owns you. Like it will do massive amounts of damage. So they definitely need to fix that, because I think people will abuse the shit out of it. And that was E3. Big games they didn't reveal, like Final Fantasy VII Remake or even Red Dead Redemption 2, for God's sakes. Yeah, I don't think there was one conference that captured it all, in my opinion. But if I were to rank the conferences, this is just my humble opinion. You might disagree, you might have your own opinion. Just let me know in the comment section what yours is. But this is my personal opinion. This is my personal take on the rankings. So number one, I would say, is Microsoft. Even though it didn't have a ton of exclusives, it had a bunch of new news, new multi-plat games, new really interesting games coming to the Xbox. So it definitely grabbed my attention right there. Number two, Ubisoft. Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, even the Starlink game with the Star Fox reveal definitely grabbed my attention. It was just a really solid conference overall. Number three would be Bethesda for me. They revealed Doom Eternal, Fallout 76, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, and Rage 2. Two biggest ones being Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, of course. And then they showed off a lot of gameplay for Fallout 76, so that really grabbed my attention since I'm a a huge Fallout fan. Then we have number 4 being Sony, showing off The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man, and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Pretty solid overall, but man, they were just bored the shit out of me, especially had those intermissions in between. One in particular, after the tent fucking debacle, which is terrible. But they had some solid things going in. Then we have Nintendo. Didn't really show much, but they had a solid showing when it comes to Super Smash Bros. And that really grabbed my attention the most, and I just couldn't get my eyes off the screen when they showed Super Smash Bros. But that wasn't actually part of the conference itself, but it still grabbed my attention nonetheless. Then we have Square Enix with Tomb Raider and Just Cause 4. Those really grabbed my attention. I'm really looking forward to those games. Yes, it was a really short conference, but they did the job well. They didn't bullshit around, so I'll give them credit for that. Then we had the PC Gaming Show, which is a fucking shit show. I don't even want to talk about that. Shenmue 1 and 2, that's literally the only thing, and Star Citizen, but that whenever that fucking game's gonna come out. But it was fucking boring nonetheless. And then EA. EA is definitely the worst one of the bunch. Cringe fest and fucking boredom with the sports game nonsense and all this other bullshit nobody wants to hear. And they just bullshitted around with like, oh, we care about you, there's not going to be microtransactions and all this. They're fucking full of shit. That's what they are, and nobody believes them anymore. Except they're fucking fanboys. But fuck them, okay? They're not real gamers. EA is on my shit list, as they have always been since the Battlefront debacle. And they fucking deserve it. So, yeah, that's my rankings, and I would have loved to see Red Dead Redemption 2, some actual gameplay, something. But that was my biggest thing that I wanted to see most of all. I thought it was going to come out for Microsoft or Sony. Didn't come out for either of those conferences, which I was really surprised about. But, yeah, we'll see about that. But overall, it was an okay E3. Not the greatest thing of all time. Nothing really big or gigantic by any means. It was okay. So that was my thoughts on E3. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section. That being said, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel Django Fett, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.